concerned all across Central Florida with the issue of homelessness. It has been challenging for all of us across, certainly across our region, and I believe across the state and the country. But one of the things that we have recently started, and it's a multi-county service that we're offering, is Good Source Staffing Services Incorporated. Good Source Staffing Services is a temporary staffing organization dedicated to creating opportunities for people who are homeless. And in the last 2 years, we have helped more than 350 people find temporary placement, many of which, 60 of which, have led to more traditional employment relationships. And in the meantime, as we talk across the country about the strategy of rapid rehousing, we are practicing through Good Source Staffing Services rapid reemployment, helping people find and go to work as quickly as 48 hours if they're compliant.
What, if anything, are you seeing with the current job market? Do you see that it's improving, or is it still in its distressed state, or is it maybe getting worse? Where do you see the trends going?
We see it as improving. I think in Central Florida, the last statistic I saw is that we're creating 1,000 new jobs a week. Wow. So I think that the opportunities, I think we've seen a sharp change. 7 years ago, we were experiencing 11% unemployment. Now, in most areas of Central Florida, we're sub 5, but I do think that there is a continuing skills gap as employers seek more and more skilled employees. Are finding many of those jobs harder and harder to fill, which is another reason why it's so important for job seekers to examine their commitment to their personal development and skills development, and to recommit and double down on efforts to get those credentials and engage in that lifelong learning.
Right. And circling back for just a moment to the Hardest Hit program, for those out there who may have, be among the newly employed, the program does provide a reinstatement for those who have missed mortgage payments. So what happens a lot of times is somebody loses their job and they stop making their mortgage payment, and they're not familiar with the Florida Hardest Hit Fund, so they don't get the assistance they need. Then they get a job and they're listening to the show right now and realize, wow, I wish I had known about that when I was unemployed, but now that I'm employed, this can't help me. Well, if you had fallen in arrears, if you had missed 3, 4, 5, 6 payments before you got employed, part of the program reinstates. It makes the payments you've missed during that period of unemployment. So even if you're newly employed, if you had fallen into a hole as a result of your unemployment, the Florida Hardest Hit Fund program can assist you in that as well.
And you've been listening to Bill Oakley. He is the president and CEO of Goodwill Industries of Central Florida, as well as Jonathan Lack, who is the broker owner of Waterview Realty Services, as well as Waterview Title, and Lack & Lack Attorney's Services, Lack & Lack Services. He's a real estate attorney, can help you on all your real estate needs. And we wanted to just touch base a little bit about how we can help as an industry here, a real estate industry. Sometimes we get calls from people who say, I want you to come out and sell my house because I've lost my job and I can't make the payments. And we go out there and we actually turn around a lot of we solve a little bit of an issue there or a problem, because we're there to assist them, and we tell them about the various services that Hardest Hit has and Goodwill and so forth, and we don't necessarily get that listing, but you know what? It's not always about having listings in real estate. It's about serving our community, and that's why we like to have people on the show that have organizations that have a lot of information that perhaps we just don't know about. I wanted to find out from you, Bill Oakley, if you have a job fair or anything coming up in the near future, and you do provide job fairs, and you partner with a lot of other industries as well.
Yeah, we actually had a job fair on May the 3rd in conjunction with Kaiser, and we regularly have job fairs. And if our listeners will go to Goodwill CFL for centralflorida.org or stop by or visit our center or call at 321-953-8188, they can always find about the information about the next upcoming job fairs. We offer a lot of fairs that are employer specific. So we'll have an employer that'll mention that they're looking for a particular group of people, and they will come in and use our center for recruiting, and those kind of pop up. So you have to stay tuned to when those things occur by checking in with us.
And I do know my assistant, Kim, from the Lack and Lack Charter, but on behalf of the Florida Hardest Hit Fund, have attended your job fairs to make people who are obviously looking for employment be aware of this program out there for the unemployed. And they've always been very well-conducted affairs, and Goodwill is doing an excellent job for the community to provide these services. So I wanted to give a shout-out to Goodwill for doing a great job for our community in that regard.
Well, and we see so many people who are one step away from homelessness that a program like yours, Jonathan, can make such a difference in keeping people in their house. You know, for so many, we know when it comes to homeless services that most of the problems emanate from just not having a roof over your head. We sometimes think of people who are homeless having a lot of other challenges, barriers, and characteristics, but generally it all starts when someone goes from having a roof over their head to being out of doors, and so programs like Hardest Hit can make a huge impact in keeping people in a much more functional environment.
Jonathan, give out that Hardest Hit website again, because that is so important to know. There's a couple different arms to that. There's a buy-down program on your principal buy-down if you're actually paying more on your mortgage than your house is worth. You've got the assistance for your mortgage payments. So there's a couple different avenues that we might be able to assist you with.
Right. Well, you can always get any information by following the link on our website of lacklaw.com. That's LACKLAW.com. But if you want to go directly to the Florida Hardest Hit website, operated by the state of Florida, or the Florida Housing Finance Corporation is the state financing agency. It's flhardesthithelp.org. That's FL as in Florida, hardesthithelp.org, O-R-G. And if you do apply for the program, one thing I want to point out, it is a free program. It's a state-run government program. There is no cost to apply, and so it is a free-to-apply program. If you chose to apply, there's a place for a referral code, which is to be assigned to Lack and Lack Chartered as your advisors. The code would be 69032. And if you put in that code, you would be assigned to our office, and we'll be happy to assist. Of course, even if you didn't put in the code, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to give me a call. John Lack at Lack and Lack Chartered, area code 321-953-5115.
Bill, we have about 6.5 minutes left of the show, and we wanted to find out how can our community, whether it's in Orange County or Volusia or Brevard, how can the counties support these job seekers? What can we do to support Goodwill and their services?
Well, three things I want to emphasize. First, as is true with the Hardest Hit program, virtually all of our services at Goodwill are offered without charge. So whether it's employability skills workshops, computer classes, GED classes, there are our vocational services, our veterans initiative. Those programs are offered without any cost. I think two things that are important for job seekers. One is that many of our job seekers have non-work skill related barriers, whether it involves housing, such as the Hardest Hit program can help address, or food and immediate food challenge, transportation, child care, or health care. All of those things can be significant obstacles to effective job search. So we generally do not support those particular people with those particular needs. We rely on other programs like Hardest Hit and others to have those services. So we rely very heavily on a wide array of services to make a real difference in the quality of life for every person who might need us. And of course, the other thing I'd like to point out is that it is the generosity of and the exceptional generosity that we enjoy in Central Florida when people go to their closets and take things they need no more to their nearest donation express or retail store that allows us, through converting those things into financial resources, to be able to operate our job connection centers and other services without charge. So the support of the community through that particular mechanism is very important to us, and indeed it is where the great majority of Goodwill's support comes from.
And any big ticket items, big furniture or cars or anything like that, do you have a pickup service that can allow those people to donate the larger items?
We generally rely on our Donation Express as the receiving point for most things. With some exceptions, we will visit a person's home, particularly if there's a, for example, if someone's cleaning out an entire home or something, we will make arrangements for that. We do not currently have a program for titled property, although many Goodwills do, because Goodwill is a network of independent organizations. Many Goodwills do accept automobiles, but we, however, are not accepting titled property at this time.
All right, give out your information one more time of how people can get in touch with the Central Florida Goodwill industry, and any other information that you think would be pertinent for people out there that might know of someone that is out of work, or maybe they just got noticed themselves and they are looking to find some sources to start. And also, I wanted to find out, before you give that out, are you seeking volunteers, people that might be would be a good teacher to show people how to use a computer, or maybe someone that likes to do makeovers or something that they would volunteer to do some seminars? Are you looking for those type of people to help out?
We do have a robust volunteer program, and if prospective volunteers will use the information I'm about to share, we would be delighted to match them up with a volunteer opportunity. Our principal Job Connection Center in Brevard County is at 2245 Coastal Lane. That is just on the south side of 192 at the Interstate 95 intersection on the Melbourne side. And its hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, with extended hours Tuesday and Thursday until 6. The phone number for the Job Connection Center is area code 321-953-8188. And job seekers and anyone interested in learning more about Goodwill can go to the World Wide Web at goodwillcfl for centralflorida.org. Where all of our locations are detailed, where many of our services, including some virtual services, are detailed, and you can learn about everything from the history to tomorrow's schedule at our West Melbourne Job Connection Center.
How long has Goodwill been in servicing the communities?
Goodwill Industries in Central Florida was started in 1959 by a Sertoma Club in Orlando. The original Goodwill Industries, the Morgan Memorial Goodwill Industries in Boston, was established by a Methodist pastor, Dr. Edgar James Helms, in 1902.
There you go, a little history on that.
That's great. I mean, so we've got 115 years of service to the community, and it's excellent service. Again, these are services that are available to you for free, and they provide much-needed assistance at a time when people are in distress. So, again, great job, Bill, and Goodwill Industries for supporting our communities the way you do.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And, Bill, do you have a Facebook, anything that you'd like people to go in and sign up for or like, so they can be part of your information as you send it out, maybe monthly, or do you have any kind of a newsletter or anything like that that people can sign up for?
We do have, when people make gifts to Goodwill, we enroll them in our database, and people periodically can receive, if they choose to, information about Goodwill. We do have a Facebook page, and if you will seek at Goodwill CFL on Facebook, you'll find our page and can certainly like us there and get current information about activities in Goodwill.
We really appreciate you calling in on your busy schedule today, and it's a great service that you provide to all the different counties. How many counties did you say you're involved with? Is it 6?
6, that's correct.
And that takes care of all of Central Florida. And, of course, we have listeners all over the country, but we just want to make sure people realize there are more services available at Goodwill than you might have expected. I like to watch your commercials, and I see the commercial with the lamp that comes in as a donation and how the lamp becomes part of, the process of the person that has a job there, and that, they track this lamp through your whole system. And it's a great commercial, and we really appreciate you coming on and giving us all that great information. Thank you, Bill Oakley from Goodwill. Thank you, Jonathan Lack, for joining me again today as a co-host and